Okay, so this is the second part of that grade to harvest video. I'm up on top of the grading station now. We look down here, that's a top view of the fish coming into the handling trough and going into the snuffleupagus. They go down through that pipe and then they come up through this box. So hopefully you'll see the fish coming up here. So you want a fair bit of water moving, and you don't want a lot of fish coming through the pipe at once. You can actually plug the pipe, and then that's not very good for the fish at all. So the fish are coming out into this main receiving box, where basically the water sort of swirls around and then delivers them down onto the dewatering box. So as they come through that pipe, there's a graduated opening, sort of like the snuffleupagus actually, but in reverse. And they come out of there. The pressure drops a little bit. The water swirls around in the box, and out they come. Now, as you can see, you can get rushes of fish, especially when they start calming down, because there's nobody around the handling trough at the moment. Ideally, Dave would be down there controlling those fish all the time. It's just that I'm actually doing videoing today, and so at the moment we're actually letting them run themselves. Black cod are very easy to handle, and they tend to be, we'll do a whole handling event to say 10,000 fish in a day, and we may have 4 or 5 handling mortalities 2 or 3 days later. So a very tough fish, although we didn't know that when we first came into this. It was all new to us, this species. But I think, if you treat them like salmon, then you're probably going to be fine. Of course, they have to splash me. Close up. Let me see if I can clean my camera here. Okay, so we're getting quite a bit of fish here on the table, and the guys are just picking out the nice premiums. So it does come and go in spurts. We're getting a fair bit of fish here right now, and probably we're going a little bit too fast as we're missing a few of the larger fish. However, these fish will go back into this pen, and they'll be the ones we missed today will be ready for the next harvest. So the fish get tossed across to Keith there. He gives them a bonk on the head. Nathan is cutting their gills so they bleed. They go straight down the pipe and into the harvest tote. So I'm going to try and back into the area where the fish are pouring up so I can get a better shot for you. And I'll stay quiet for a bit and just watch the guys go at the grade to harvest. Kyuquot Seafoods. Multi-Trophic Aquaculture site, and this is May 2010. So now I'm standing in the trough here, in the receiving box, and giving you a view. So the equipment we're standing on, we managed to scrounge or score from people we know in the industry at fairly cheap prices. The grading table itself was an old marine harvest grading table, which required a fair bit of work to get it back up to a usable standard. We had to put new legs on it and modify a few holes and smooth off a few edges, but we got it very cheaply, $400, and I think you probably couldn't build it for well, it's a lot of aluminum, so you probably couldn't build it for, well, according to the guy that did the modifications on it, you couldn't buy the material for 5,000. So we were lucky there. It was a good score. The box I'm standing in was actually an old mortality tote from the waybacks. I'll hopefully put a few still photos of when Dave and I were in the welding shop helping them modify all this stuff. Richard over there actually gave us the receiving pipe, which I'm standing just above, and that was an expensive little piece of equipment because it's a round piece of graduated aluminum, much like that Snuffy, and they're not cheap to build anymore. So, and then we found that yellow plastic material we found at a second-hand yard, and it's nice, heavy duty, very smooth, and I think it came off the back of a fancy yacht. So we got those pieces and cut them down, and then fabricated the box that the dewatering table is on, and brought it out to the farm and hooked it all together, and built it on this little cage system here, and then towed it over to the farm and set it up for grading and grade to harvest. So I think at the end of this video I'll try and include some of those photos of building it and the work we did in the warehouse, the welder's shop, and also maybe a couple of photos. I think I've got a couple of photos of where we found that old grading table relic up north in a boneyard. So I'll end this video at this point. I'm about 7 minutes in or so, and I'll try and add a few more photos of this equipment before it was actually set up. I'll give you another minute just to watch the fish coming down the table. Like I say, we're looking at about a 5 pound dressed average, so that's more like a 5.5 pound fish, maybe a little bigger, and hopefully all premiums. So I'll finish with a pan on the farm and a quick. The far cages are empty, we're not in full production, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with fish, 1 without fish out of 13 cages on this side. So over there is our scallop tower and sea system for handling scallops, and a bunch of scallops suspended on the inside of the farm. And then inside that we've got kelp suspended at 5 meters, and these poles here are for handling the cucumber cages, which are underneath the fish cages, because cucumbers are responsible for cleaning up hopefully most of the solid waste. At least that's the plan. So polyculture, multi-trophic aquaculture, whatever we want to call it, it's basically trying to create an ecosystem on a farm situation where you can harvest all of the products, and each product helps you to mitigate the waste or nutrient flow from the trophic layer above it. Hopefully I explained that as best as I can. I'm just the production manager.